Good morning, guys. Good morning and welcome to FYI, folks. Welcome. You see, we're fired up at this end and we are ready to go. Just to let you know, happy February. We are fired up and we are ready to go at this end. We would have you guys do it's a new month and we are ready to go, good folks. We are ready to go. We're going to hold on some of you to join the live, to smash that emoji button. Beatrice Selby and Debbie Collins, we see you guys. Tommy Gibbs and Winston Granada. John Jones, we see you as well. Happy February 1st. It's February already, believe it or not. And we're super happy that you wonderful folks are here with us. We're going to take the opportunity to share the live. We're going to take the opportunity to smash that emoji button, folks. We're going to take the opportunity to do what we got to do at this end, folks. And while you guys do the same at your end. Share the live, smash that emoji button, folks. And let me go down the road. It's February already. We wish you guys all the best. We wish you guys all the very, very best for a productive February. All the very, very best for a productive February. And I'm happy that we don't have to ask some folks to share. They understand the assignment and they get right to it. We don't have to prod them, not in February, to share their life and so forth. They understand the assignment and they've gotten right to it. Good to have each and every one of you guys. Hope you're joining us from Pollyanna Schultz. So good to see you, Pollyanna and Sharon McPherson, Fionn Ross, and all the other guys who are joining us. We are tremendously privileged. We are tremendously privileged. You folks are here with us. Father, we thank you for February. A lot of folks didn't live to see it. But here we are, another day to make a difference in this world. Another day, guys. Here. Yep. Jamal Marcus, great to see you there. And all the other folks who are now tuning in from all the different pages and social media networks. We are so happy you're joining us on LinkedIn, you're joining us on Twitter, you're joining us on Facebook, you're joining us on YouTube. Wherever you folks are joining us from this morning, we're privileged you guys are here. And we're happy to be here with you guys. And nonetheless, we got a couple of things to share with you folks, and then we're going to come out of your faces so you can go on and have a great and fantastic February. The month is off to a good start, I would say. The month is off to a good start, and we trust that you guys are well. We hope that you guys are well wherever you wonderful folks are joining us from this morning. We trust that you guys are great. How are you folks doing? Maybe we should ask the question. Simone Williams and Dolly Ann Anderson and Pollyanna Short. Lynn Fernandez, how are you doing? How is Lena doing? How are you guys doing? You guys challenge February. You know, January went by like that. So quick, and January went by. Don't let February do the same to you folks. Fight back. Fight back, Simone Williams, Annette Cummins, and Ingrid Crawford. Have a plan, you work your plan, do what you gotta do. We gotta make some money, folks, in 2023. We can't survive without money. We're now trying to dig ourselves out of some expenses we had since December related to our programs into February, folks. Still trying to get through that. If you can, come on board and partner with us. Do that. Do that, guys. Come on board. Partner with us and help us to move from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year with our programs, bringing you credible, valid information. We're so happy, good folks, that you guys are here with us. Ingrid Crawford, Alexis Charmley Richmond, and all the other guys who are joining us. We are happy you guys are here. Housekeeping matters, folks. Let me tell you guys right off the bat, we're now going to be on tomorrow morning. I got an early court appearance tomorrow morning along with the mayor of Georgetown on that matter. Ubash Narayan and I are doing court very early, and I would love to be on time. So we're not going to have the morning program tomorrow, Thursday, the second day of February, but we're going to be back in the evening. We're going to be back on with our evening program. We're still at the National Assembly, tying up budgetary issues, scrutinizing the estimates and expenditures proposed for 2023. And so we're not going to have any podcast until next week. We're going to be back with our podcast next week. And we're so looking forward to that midday hour with you fine, fantastic folks. We are looking forward to that hour. Julian Miles and Isabella Butters and all the other folks, Jamal Marcus, Roxanne Gary, Annette Cummins. Folks, have a fantastic February. You all know February is the month of love. Yeah. The 14th, folks, it's going to be here like that. So start looking for your gift ideas and so forth. Don't let catch up with you. Folks, don't let it catch up with you. Cheryl Bascom, Greenwich, and Annette Cummins, and Charles Humphrey, all you other beautiful, fantastic folks who are joining us today. We're so privileged that you guys are here with us. We got some things we got to walk through. I think we're not going to do the headlines in the morning papers. We're going to get right to some of the main issues that are making the news out there. Folks, y'all see what's happening out there? You see the struggles that these guys have to fix some simple roads? The struggle is real with these folks, guys. This struggle is real. It's real with them, and we're going to be touching on some of those things this morning. It's real. We don't know how them boys making out. Clearly, they're not making out. And we saw some comments attributed to former Minister of Public Infrastructure, David Patterson, now Ministry of Works. Again, talking about how roads seem to be more expensive now. We saw a headline in Kaichur News just this morning. The roads seems to be more expensive and less durable. Go figure with that. More expensive and less durable. That's just one of the things that we're following in the morning papers today. More durable, less expensive. My Lord. Folks, we got so much to deal with. We got so much to contend with. And we hope that you guys stay with us, share the live, smash that emoji button as well, good folks. And let me do what we got to do. We got to go down the road. But good to see each and every one of you, wherever you beautiful, fantastic folks joining us from this morning. We are super happy that you folks are here with us. Super happy that you wonderful folks are here with us. We hope that you guys are great. We hope that all is well at your end. Don't let nobody steal your joy this February. Please and thank you. Don't let nobody do it. Don't let nobody steal your joy this February. Refuse, good folks, to have them do it. But it's great to have each and every one of you with us, good folks. We are tremendously happy that you guys are here with us. What's happening with these roads? My Lord, very interesting. Again, saw that headline there in the Kaichur newspaper. Right? They're doing less roads, double the cost, and less durable as well. Go figure with that. Good people. Go figure with that. And we saw this very touchy spot. We have guys there on Carifesta Avenue. This very touchy spot that the guy is struggling to fix. We saw them fix it a couple of times over the last year alone. They could have easily have spent $100 million trying to fix one hole, folks, one hole, Carifesta Avenue here in Georgetown. One hole. They're struggling. We hear they meet every day and they plan and so on, but this hole having the better of them. Take a look. Take a look, folks, at some of what's happening there, Carifesta Avenue. As it concerns this hole, it makes your commute so much easier when you have good roads. So much easier when you have good roads. Your commute so much easier. Yep. Look at this pothole here on Carifesta Avenue. That is causing them sleepless nights there at Ministry of Public Works. My God. Take a look, folks, and take a listen. Yeah, the strugglation is real. We're being able to understand that the guys are being given some sleepless nights, trying to fix that. I mean, how difficult it can be. And honestly, we spoke with some folks, some engineers who understand this business of road maintenance, road construction, rehabilitation, and so on. And they said part of the problem there is that they're not going to some of these subsurfaces. They're not going deep enough to rectify that problem. It's just a touch patch thing, and they feel they're fooling people. But who know? Who know? Another issue we covered during the course of this week, just in case you miss it, we were up at Region 5, in particular, number 28 Village, on the West Babis corridor there. And they're also crying out for roads. They say, they're in a bad spot. The folks there tell us that they're in a bad spot and they want to know. People ask all the time, when the oil money coming to us? When it reaching our side, Tommy Gibbs, Joel Ward, Glenn Ford Gordon, when the soil money, coming our way, we want good roads, and so on. And lots of the folks there have served their country well, paid their taxes, and now in the golden years, they want to be a little more comfortable. They want to go in and come out with ease. They got medical appointments. They want to go to the market. They just want to live, stress-free. And they got some roads there in number 28 Village really bothering these people. We were down there. We took a look at some of what is happening there just so we could share it with you fantastic folks. And again, if we're in a position now, we got oil money, we might not have had it all the time. Even the PPP, the ruling administration in the last iteration of government prior to 2050, didn't have the money to do everything. But we got a lot more now. And you know what? The people want more. It's not enough to say, oh, well, the last administration didn't do it. It's not enough to say that. It is not. And we're taking a look at some of that. Here are some of the roads in 28, and here are some of the number 28 Village, West Coast Babis, and a few comments too from the residents there. They want better roads. All of us do. And the government got to deliver more because they have more at their disposal. Some of the roads there in number 28 Village.
Yeah, man, and all this guy around here, for man, they're 88 years, going 89. And this street, very bad. You know how much years me there? And punishment just got to go to hospital every 14 days, 7 days, and then thing. Really, my trouble with Pratt Street. And I can't walk, me just got to get one car. A car just come straight and pick me up when the rain fall. They come up from this. When the rain fall, they can't walk to go to Damley. They might try to carry me tractor, me can't make it with a tractor. Number one, in trouble with them. Me have asthmatic. They can always get me everything. If me walk my head to them, me got to sit down. And you can't sit down in the mud.
very bad. You can't get to go out, you can't come in. You just got to do your own day. You can't go for go therapy, you can't get to talk to church, you can't get to go to the doctor. You just got to do your all the time. It's very hard. It's very, very hard. So we need this street to be fixed so we can get to go out, when you wanted to go and come in when you wanted to come in. Because sometimes I have to go play, sometimes I have to go to eye clinic. I can't go because no taxi can come in here. You understand me? So it's very bad, man. Let them try and help us, man. Let them try their best and help us to get the street fixed. so we can get to move around. You understand? Because I need my foot, man. I need my foot to walk. God the man 2 foot to walk. You understand? So let us please ask them let they help us, man. Let they help us.
Yeah. Number 28 village, folks, on the west coast of Bobby's there. Number 28 village on the west coast. And the folks got some real concerns. You all see those roads? You know, folks, we're delighted to highlight some of those issues that are happening in our communities across this country. And our only challenge is that we couldn't do more, that we can do more with the limited resources that we have. That's our only regret, that we can't do more. And that's why we ask you guys to partner with us. It's not only about meeting the bills, but it also enables us to move like that. You know, those of you who know, I have not been paid a parliamentary salary since last year, July. It was only by the grace of God, but for the grace of God, go I. But I'm not going to let the devious and wicked and vindictive way of this administration stop and put a spoke in what I'm doing here. I'm committed to this, committed to doing the work of a parliamentarian, committed to bringing you guys valid, credible information and letting you know what's happening in our country out there. And I say that to say this. Last week, we featured on our program right here a terrible road at Malgatu in Region 3. The folks have been working on that road since last year, August. As a matter of fact, they came and dumped a whole host of materials on the road and just abandoned the project. We featured it last week on our program, this road at Malgatu. And we are so happy to report the folks, the residents there contacted us and they were profuse in their thanks for us highlighting it. They said the guys came and they have gotten back to work on that road. And so when we say, let us know what's happening in your community, it is for that reason we want to highlight it. Sometimes you got to shame them into doing well, you know. You got to shame them into doing well. And we're so happy for the citizens at Malgatu. You know, we shouldn't have to shame the government into actually working. But if we have to do that, we have to do that. And so we're thankful for the small part we played in highlighting that issue there at Malgatu. The folks said, you know, that piles and piles of materials, loam and so on, they came and just dump on the road months on end. And the folks were complaining, quite like the folks there in number 28, a village on the west coast, Babis, and that they couldn't come and go as freely as like you can't drive your car in the street because it's just a whole set of stuff, materials blocking up the street. And we're happy to report this morning, thanks to what you guys help us to do here. They say they are getting some attention again on that road there in Malgatu, guys, and we're so happy. We are so happy about that. Let's get into some of what's happening, folks, internationally, some of what's happening in the region, and some of what's brewing locally as well. I think that's where we're going to pick up from this morning. Some of the things that we are following internationally, guys, some regionally, some right here at home in the national capital city, in Guyana, on the whole, that we're tracking this morning. We want to bring some of that to you. And here is where we're starting, folks, internationally. That's where we're starting. Great to have each and every one of you guys. We are so delighted. You see, when we say share the live and smack that emoji button, it's for some specific purpose, you know. Sometimes that's only what that's how we highlight these issues to folks. And then them boys come and watch the live and say, a lot of people watching this. We want to be shamed. Let me go fix the people's street. You know, it's sad that we have to go like that. It's sad that we have to go like that. Right? But we have to go how we have to go. I see Loretta Argyle saying, Loretta is saying that Masari going into somebody's pocket. Folks, did I explain to you what is happening? Oh my God. Let me just take a quick second to do that. I don't like to make me the subject of the of the darn thing. But I just want you folks to understand that the struggle is real at this end. I want you folks to understand it is real. I was on suspension from the National Assembly from last year. What was it? Last year, February, right on to July. 4 consecutive sittings of the National Assembly, and they meet so infrequently, of course, from February to July of last year, the first 4. And that was on that Damlal issue. Remember when he told our sister and colleague, Natasha Singh Lewis, about the dildo issue? Well, I was suspended for that. During that time, I was still receiving my parliamentary salary. And then as I was coming back out of that series of suspension in July of last year, another 4 consecutive sitting suspension from 4 consecutive sitting of the National Assembly kicked in, and that was for the issue surrounding the mace. Now, all I was doing in the National Assembly was videoing, as lots of other people were doing, videoing what was happening. I was suspended, and in that occasion, I was suspended without pay, and those suspensions ran from July of last year to December. Now, when I'm resuming my duties as a parliamentarian in December, December 6th, on the very day I got a call from Parliament telling me that when I was suspended from February to July, I was not supposed to be paid. And so I will not be paid for 4 consecutive sittings, right? Or for the months, rather, that I was suspended, which is 5 months from February to July. And so I will not be paid until May of this year. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? But I understand what's happening here. I understand this is vindictiveness, right? If you cripple a man financially and economically, you bring him to his knees, right? Then the program is supposed to fail. You know, our voices out here will not be heard. Your voice is mine. The people in 28 Village, the people at Malga 2, their voices won't be heard. So that is the attempt to cripple me financially, to cripple the program financially, to take us off the air. Folks, it's serious. This business here where we outfund, you think it's for the likes and shares that I outfund here? Huh? How do you folks think I've survived from last year, July to now, without a parliamentary salary, and will survive until May? Huh? But for the grace of God, go I. It is serious. But that is my own sacrifice for the struggle. And so when I say to you guys, share the live and smash the emoji button, it's not to be popular. That's the last of it. I want folks to see what's happening. And we keep them boys on the toes and to keep doing their work. To keep doing the work. Good? So share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks. And it's because of you, your love, your support, and your generosity, we've been able to go from day to day, week to week, month to month, and now year to year. Some of what folks happening out there internationally that we want to draw to attention. Yep. A couple of things. Internationally happening, we wish to draw to your kind attention. Good folks. We hope that you guys are well. We hope that you guys are great. We hope that you guys are safe. Yeah. You got to understand the jagabats and the trench crappos and their actions. Yeah, they want to cripple us, to take us off the air. Because the less you and I know what was happening, the better for them. You know, they can come out here, you think, oh, that's the best government. You know, all things nice and beautiful. And let me go down the road. But it's not so. It's not so by a long shot. And we are going to continue to do, guys, what we have to do without fear and without favor. We're going to continue to fight this good fight because it is worth fighting for the people of this country, for betterment and development for all. Folks, our heart leaped for joy. Our heart leaped for joy when the folks there at Malgatu told us that the guys came and they credited that with us highlighting the issue there. Our hearts leaped for joy. Right? I could take a year suspension and my salary being cut if the citizens of this country get what they rightfully deserve. And so, folks, picking up on some of what's happening internationally. Look, the head of the World Health Organization, Thados Ghebreyesus, you know, he says that a lot of countries aren't reporting accurately the COVID numbers. I think we're one of them. We are underreporting, guys, what's happening with COVID. Underreporting. The air conditioner struggling where we are. That's why I looked around like this to see if it's even on. Right? Yeah, he said lots of the folks not transmitting accurate COVID numbers to them, including China. That's a big issue. what's happening there in China, and they're pretending that they have just a couple dozen COVID cases, and people are seeing quite differently. I saw, I think it's some reported saying that they had a satellite image and they saw lots of people congregating at crematoriums in China, which means a lot of people dying from COVID-19. And I know, when we ease some of our COVID restrictions where we are at this end here, they said if you do your home test and so on for COVID-19 and you're COVID positive, you don't need to report to the authorities. You don't? That's what they said. Believe it or not. So we know that the numbers that we get locally are very, very conservative numbers where COVID-19 is concerned. And again, the head of the Secretary General of the World Health Organization, the chief, the big sahib there at the WHO, Dr. Thados Ghebreyesus, he says that they need improved reporting of COVID surveillance data. Yeah, and that's what they're advising countries. The Director General, he says they need accurate numbers. And lots of this was based on what's happening in China. They're being encouraged to report their true and correct COVID numbers. That is what they're being encouraged to do. And we hope that we do the same. And I think Dr. Frank Anthony himself said last week or quite recently that, again, these numbers that we have locally here in Guyana are very, very conservative numbers. Very, very conservative numbers, which means a lot of more folks are infected with COVID-19 than we know. A lot more folks. But we're watching that, folks, and we're going to have more details for you as soon as they become available. Yep. That's what we keep saying to you all. Continue to practice the COVID-19 protocols. Even though they aren't enforced stringently in a lot of places, you got to take your own health into your own hands, your family's health, and those of your friends and loved ones as well. And you do what you got to do. Social distance if you got to do that. Sanitize, wear your mask. Do what you got to do, good folks. Yep. Regional news, folks. There's we're turning our attention to. Well, Mia all the time out front. Mia all the time covering some stuff that's happening regionally, folks. Mia out front all the time in them boys' tail. All the time. Think you're going to hold me up? The Transparency International, their corruption perception index, worldwide has been published, and this comes out of organization, I think it is in Germany. I know it's in Europe, but people look up to them because they do a lot of work reporting on transparency issues, corruption, and all of that, and all of those things. And again, this part of the world's hemisphere, this part of the globe, Barbados has come out on top as being one of the least corrupt countries in this part of the hemisphere. One of the least corrupt countries. Kudos to Barbados. We're doing a couple of things well there. We're doing a couple of things right. And let me tell you something. Leadership is as such that no leader, whether it's Irfan, Barrett, Mayor, whoever, Gaston Brown, Scarrett, whoever you be, you don't get everything right. The trick about it, I should even say the trick, good leadership is getting more things right than you don't. But you're going to make mistakes along the way. Right? But if everything you're doing, is calamity, then you got a problem. Maybe leading is that, maybe you have to follow. It's when you're getting more things wrong than right. You see, you can get a couple things wrong, and people can excuse that. If on the whole, you're heading in the right direction, and we're clearly getting a couple things right here. Barbados is leading the path as least corrupt country in this part of the hemisphere. Barbados, right? Quite a few of the Latin American countries, and we published an article on this just this morning on Credible Sources website. Quite a few Latin American countries are getting the flak for very, very corrupt practices, clamping down on democratic norms and so forth, right? Their refusal to adhere to good democratic values and so forth. Yeah. Mayor for CARICOM countries doing a couple things right. Here in Guyana, we've improved one place on that corruption perception index. One place. And if you followed our broadcast last night, We told you guys we kind of break even because we fell two places in 2021. This is reporting for 2022. We fell two places. Right? So in a sense, we're still behind. We're up one spot, but in a sense, we are still behind. Samoa Williams, we are still behind. But kudos to the Barbadian people, and kudos to the government of Barbados leading the pack there, leading their pack there. I know they got their own issues, our folks from Barbados can give us a mouthful on that. Certainly, the folks there in Barbados got their own issues, trials and tribulations. But I think we're doing a couple of things well. She is doing a couple things well. That's one of the things we're following this morning. Yep. We dropped 2 spots, folks. We dropped 2 spots. And they said we dropped 2 spots. We're in the 592, good folks. We're in the 592 already. Yeah. We're in the 592. Great to have you guys here with us. Great to have you guys here with us this morning. Wherever you all are joining us from, we are so privileged that so many of you have joined the live. I know you guys are going to share the broadcast. We know you guys are going to partner with us and all of those beautiful, wonderful things. As we run that, good folks, we want to recommend to you guys, if you are looking for a good law firm, and I know so many of you transact business on a daily basis, you need a good justice of the peace, a good commissioner of votes to affidavits, and other legal services. Again, we want to recommend the Alistair Collins firm, and they provide those services and more down there, the Callion Mall. And I don't even think I'm going to do them justice if I see all the services that are provided. But take a listen to some of the other services available down there at the Alistair Collins firm. Yep.
For all your legal document needs and more, the Alistair Collins firm is the place for you. If you are looking to have your statutory declarations done, affidavit of income, affidavit of identity, or guidance replacing your damaged or lost passport or lost license, you need the Alistair Collins firm. They can also help you with tenancy agreements, agreements of settlement, your power of attorney, your last will and testament, and certification of documents. The Alistair Collins firm is located at the Callion Mall, 162 Lamar Street in Georgetown between Camp and Waterloo Streets. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths to affidavits and a justice of the peace. You can also call them at 649-6410 or 685-6446 or 503-1451. The Alistair Collins firm, help when you need it.
And we take the opportunity to say, partner with us, to invite you guys to partner with us. We're available via Cash App and Zelle and PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, and Western Union. We're available on all of these platforms just for your convenience, folks, for your convenience. So partner with us so we can continue doing what we're doing at this end. We're in the 592, good folks. We're in the 592. We wish to draw a few things to our attention as we move on down the line. We wish to draw a couple of things to your attention, good folks. First up, the folks are saying, like, Irfan wasn't away these days. Irfan, like, his words don't have weight. He visited a particular area there, where a manganese company operates in the interior. And the folks told him they got a lot of challenges because this company doing a lot of damage to the community there at Matthews Ridge. A lot of damage to the community there at Matthews Ridge. But and he, of course, wanting to show he's large and in charge, ordered the company, I don't know if you could order a private company, but he ordered the company to rectify a dam that it had damaged, and this was causing severe hardship to the residents there in the area of Matthews Ridge. But the folks say to date, nothing has been done. Absolutely nothing has been done. Sure, in Juicy Tendry, that's what the folks telling us. Yeah. Months later, nothing has been done. See? Yeah. The folks say the problem persists. It leads us to wonder, if and work their way, maybe people know where the real power resides. Maybe if other people say some things, they can be moved to action. You see, that's what happened when they got puppet regimes. Maybe the folks know the truth. Right? But the folks down there at Matthews Ridge say, months later, the problem has not been fixed. The problem caused by this particular manganese company. Yeah. How looking for us? How looking for us? How looking for we? We're watching that, folks. We're watching that. We hope the problem gets rectified. Not as you were following, guys. They're telling us recently, on Sunday last, a baby died during delivery at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. This is about the third or the fourth in the last 2 or 3 months. And we thought that we'd been bringing some semblance of order to this problem here, and the prevalence of it at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, at least under the last administration, bringing down maternal deaths, bringing it down severely. No, seems to be the norm. Seems to be the norm. And what is even more telling, they tell us here, the reports have it that the baby's head was severed during them trying to deliver the baby. The baby head was severed. Of course, the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation put out a statement saying the person shouldn't be quick to rush to judgment, but wait for formal reporting out of the GPHC, the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. Right? I'm waiting for the report, because I'd love to know how a baby head come off during delivery. They said the baby, this was a stillbirth. And we're following that. But too many cases we're seeing where mothers are losing their lives. Babies, are losing their lives at this facility, and it should be a concern to every citizen of this country. And we say, you know what? We have the money now, like for the roads in our 20th village. Let's hire the competent people, not party hacks, professional, healthcare professional, right? Healthcare administrators, professional people, and let us build capacity in the system. It's not just about photo ops. Real lives are at stake here. We don't think people always get that. We don't think them boys always get that. That real lives are at stake here. Real lives are at stake. That's the cost. And our thoughts and prayers go to the parents who lost their baby. How does a baby head get severed during a delivery? That's what the one report says. But we're going to wait to see what the findings of an internal investigation there the GPHC produces. We're not holding our breath by any means, but we're going to wait to see. Our thoughts and prayers, of course, with this family who lost their baby in this manner. Thoughts and prayers with them. Yep. Moving on, folks. Some of the other stuff happening in the 592. I was happy to see this man here who got 25 years for killing his wife, his reputed wife, reputed wife. A woman he was supposed to be loving and cherishing. Right? He ended up ending her life. And in one of the most gruesome manner that you can imagine. One of the most gruesome manners. Folks, it's sickening, It's sickening real bad. See, when we read what happened here, the young lady's name is given as Devika Narayandat. Right? Devika Narayandat, yeah. And she was just, how old they said she was? I don't think she was 25 yet. Right? He's 34 years old. She's 24, or was 24. When he killed her on April 9th, 2020. 24-year-old, and she went by the name Vanessa. Derika Narayandat. And here's what the folks tell us. That, she wanted to break up with him. And he couldn't deal with that. Right? Folks, you're bracing yourself. And they got evil in this world, I want you all to know that. They got evil in this world. Letter Argyle, John Jones, Lena Williams. Good to see you, Lena. Welcome. They got real evil in this world. Vanessa was 24. He's 34. And she wanted out from this relationship. And in hindsight, we understand why. And the reports indicate that Suraj Veerasamy hung Vanessa. Right? He hung her and then stuffed her body in a barrel and threw it overboard. I sorry didn't give you 125. I sorry didn't give you 125. None of us none of us in this kind of context, relationships and so on, have any right to take anybody's life, to beat anybody, to take anybody's life, or anything like that. And this government has been paying too much lip service to this issue. And you're going to hear Gail Teixeira on another issue talk about men beating women. And right in her party, she can reprimand the men that beat women. And so you understand why maybe people like Suraj Veerasamy take cue from them. You know, because if we hang a couple of them and so on, maybe we start sending a very strong message. This thing is at pandemic level, epidemic level in this country. He hung Vanessa Narayan. He hung her and then stuffed her body in a barrel, throat shot someplace, 25 years. She'll give you 125. Cases like this, people are here nothing but parole. Right? I want to hear nothing but parole. The good book said if you take a life, then you must be deprived of your life as well. 25 years. It's a very, very, very strong signal to men who think they can act like this. You've been on nobody. And people your child want you. Oh, go about your business, man. Go about your business quietly. Thoughts and prayers, of course, go out to this young lady's family. What a tragedy. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her family. Devika Narayan, our thoughts and prayers with her family. Right. Go about your business. Here's some other things we're tracking, folks, in the 592. A trio. Folks, coke is like the order it is. Everybody on a side hustle with cocaine. Everybody on a side hustle with coke. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Everybody on a side hustle. Since the year start, we've been tracking here for you guys. It's every big auntie. Now, got a little coke thing, a little coke hustle on the side. Every big auntie. And it's just one of the signs that things real hard here. And that people are willing to risk life and liberty to make a fast dollar. Right? Willing to risk life and liberty for a fast dollar. I can tell you all. My God. I can tell you all. Big auntie gone down. Remanded herself and two other persons. Remanded for allegedly trafficking in cocaine. And this is Lena Narayan. Big auntie 63. 63 years old. And herself along with Sherlyn Edmondson, Oil Branch. They were remanded to prison quite recently after they were found with 1.1 million worth in cocaine. 1.1 million worth in cocaine. Them boys is sugar down. Leading around 63. Where big auntie going? Yeah? Where big auntie going? But that's just the society now in which we live. Since this year start, we've been chronicling for you here, guys. All of the people who in a side hustle with cocaine. And it's big people who you think should know better. Who you think should know better. And as we were not, we told our folks last night, watching us in the ring, that them boys gone with Barry Dataram. Right? And Barry Dataram is one of the biggest names here. They allege in this underworld, where cocaine is concerned. One of the big names, folks, touched down at JFK recently. You know, the US has been trying to extradite him for a long time. For a long time. Touched down in JFK recently. Them boys gone with him. Them boys gone with Dataram. Them boys gone with him. Which Dataram you say? Folks, let me jog your memory. With Dataram. We covered this last night. Every big auntie in a side hustle with coke. Where is coke coming from? We got labs here producing coke. our borders are so porous. You know, a fellow like Barry Datra might have some answers for us. Let's give you guys a little recap on who Dataram is. You has gone with him. You're in U.S. custody now. But if he start talking based on some of what he said in this report, it's trouble. And we got HTP TV Nightly News to thank for this insert.
Guyana-born American Barry Dataram, who has previously eluded efforts to extradite him to the United States to face drug trafficking charge, has for the first time opened up about that extradition case. Back in 2008-2010, Dataram and his attorney, the late Vic Puran, engaged in several successful legal maneuvers in Guyana's High Court to prevent him from being extradited to the US to face drug trafficking charges. Dataram says that the whole idea of an extradition came about as a result of bad business.
Are you still wanted by the US?
Well, yeah, hopefully. But I don't think that was bothered with me now. You know, that was long ago.
What they wanted you for?
Conspiracy charge, trafficking narcotics.
You think if they get a chance, they'll still hold on, and you know that.
Yeah, they probably would.
Why would they want you for a conspiracy charge? What exactly happened?
You know, people might call your name, you do business.
The now outspoken Dataram is alleging that if he had to be extradited, the DEA would also be interested in a few more drug dealers in Guyana, including a well-known controversial Kanu rank who Dataram alleges oversees shipment of cocaine whenever the cocaine is ready to leave Guyana.
If certain people in this country was to get extradited and they start going to New York and talk.
Does that include you?
No, not me. I
If you
never
were to be extradited.
No, not yet. I never had no dealings with he.
Okay.
So I wouldn't call he.
If you were extradited, you
No, I
wouldn't
don't
call
like when he.
Mhm.
Come he never. If me he had do business, I would have tell you right now.
Right.
And through whatever, but you know, through my friends them, I can't call him.
Right. Clear. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
He would easy one that they would got thing. He can get extradited too.
Dataram is alleging that as much as $10 million is paid to that officer to ensure safe passage, whether to the United States or Canada with onward destinations.
He's the one allowing it to pass. He taking 10 million.
And these drug cartels, they pay this money.
Yeah. Half up front and half when it left.
Dataram explains how the drug underworld works if one has to get their consignment of drugs delivered successfully.
I got a shipment. Let's say I
Mhm.
got a big shipment and I want it out of the country.
Yeah.
How do I go about getting this out of the country?
Well, obviously you gotta get shipper, you gotta get receiver. You gotta get people who you know me, who are ready. You can't just do it right away. Well, however you want to send it, you can't just send it 24th. You know me, you gotta get people who are already doing this stuff.
Trusted people too.
Yeah. And then you gotta find the man who with he, the man who is gonna go through. Remember, he don't come direct, you know, and tell you, oh, they come to me, I can do this.
You will hear more of Dataram's startling revelations in subsequent newscasts. Guyana-born American Barry Dataram, who has previously eluded
Yep, our apologies there. So U.S. authorities gone with Dataram. Gone with him. He touched down at JFK quite recently. And them boys gone with him. Yeah. Uncle Sam, don't forget. Gaisuko telling us they got a shake-up coming in the management. First thing, they got to get rid of Zulfikar. They got to get rid of the CEO there. You got to get rid of them. We can return Gaisuko to profitability. 3 years on. What them boys got to show? What they got to show? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And here the Minister with responsibility for the sector says, some shake-up coming. Got some shake-up coming. It's the middleman and the man at the bottom is going to shake up, you know. The folks at the top is staying in place. But let me watch and see, folks, how it unfolds. Let me watch and see how it unfolds. They shake up. Right? Then produce a pound of sugar, at any profitable price. 3 years and billions of dollars poured into Gaisuko. How things looking over, sir? How it looking? Thin. That's what we can tell you. Things looking thin. Thin on that side, Tommy Gibbs. Real thin. Let me get you guys. We're circling back to this issue with men on a mission. $500 million Ghana dollars. They want to put in this slush fund, this piggy bank, this Ponzi scheme. $500 million. See? I thought it was a charitable organization. Charity apparently is very expensive. And Gail Teixeira told Ganesh Bai Paul as he questioned her on this issue in National Assembly, we built houses for the indigent and those, not so fortunate. But what's the HMPS do? Central Housing and Planning. We look after elderly who have needs and so forth. So Ministry of Social Services, therefore, $500 million you're asking for. $500 million Ghana dollars for Ifanali's pet project. $500 million. Where the office located? Gilali, if you got a big auntie, who needs a new fence or a bridge, how do you apply? How does one apply? That's why we said this whole thing, hairy-fairy. So there's an organization, men on a mission. But you don't know who's the hierarchy, who's the secretary, who's the treasurer, who's head for the organization. Is it Irfan? Who's the head? What criteria do you use if somebody wants a bridge, a fence fix? The whole thing is ludicrous how they presented it. The whole thing. And here is Member of Parliament Ganesh Maiport. During the consideration of the estimates and expenditures, the interrogation of the numbers, wasn't the question to Gail to share? I know lots of you got a lot of concern with us being in Parliament and engaging them. But if we're not there in Parliament, putting the questions to them, then you don't have moments like this. When it is revealed, they don't know one thing what they're doing. Again, Ganesh Mahipur putting the questions to Gail Teixeira. Listen to her responses. And then listen to her particularly talk about, merit mission supposed to be setting the example. And for men who like to beat women and so on, setting the example. And then right in the PPP, you got Ozzy Rogers, Paul McCoy. You got lots of other characters there. Who Gail can talk to, can reprimand. Right? Look the allegations against Kwame by Tabitha Sarabo Hali, sitting member of Parliament. Huh? You got Nigel Damlal saying how our colleague needs a dildo. Gail said nothing. But they come out here trying to fight for women's rights and all kinds of stuff through men on mission. And when you have an opportunity to speak, you ain't speaking? Listen to a member of Parliament, Ganesh Maipur, quiz the member on men on mission. Give us your thoughts of the exchange.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman?
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I understand what the Honorable Minister is saying, but in an instance like this, I would like to believe that prudent financial management and proper spending of taxpayers' money, and in this sense, $500 million, I'm of the opinion that there should be an assessment team to ascertain on a needs basis the assistance for our residents and citizens. Mr. Chairman, I don't disagree that there are elderly people that need assistance, but similarly, there should be some assessment, prudent financial management, and proper spending of the taxpayers' money to assist the people who are in need. Can the Honorable Minister say if they are going to establish a secretariat or some management committee to do that level of assessment so that the money is spent not on selective purpose, but rather on a needs basis?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, there is a body that is managing the men on mission. These are made up with very high and reputable leaders of our country, the head of the army, the head of the police, a number of pastors, I believe, a number of civil society representatives, so that these are the persons who will make decisions on the usage of the money. And if I know Pierre Sabina and the Office of the President well enough, that they will make sure that financial propriety is managed.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Go ahead,
Can the honorable, thank you. Can the honorable minister say what is the structure in place for this Men on Mission program? I heard her saying that there are a number of reputable persons managing this program. So may I ask, who is the head of the program? Who's the deputy head? Who is the secretary? Who's the treasurer? And what is the hierarchical structure of this newly established program where we're asking taxpayers to fund with $500 million?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this is a new initiative. And as I said, it is led by, it is not airy-fairy, sir. This is a men on mission. You know, maybe you're too young, but there have been many attempts over the years to get men involved in advocacy on domestic violence, sexual violence, which my colleague on the other side, Mrs. Lawrence, would be familiar with, for example. And many of these have been fleeting and not held their ground for long. This is the first time we have a very powerful organization, and not to use it as a formal organization, but a coming together of men in our country, over 1,000 men in each region, who are involved in responsible parenthood, responsible lifestyles, being opposed to domestic violence and sexual violence, and recognizing their role in the community to play a more active role in terms of caring and reaching out to people who are less fortunate. So it is a new initiative. It is led right now, as I said, by the head of the Ghana Defense Force, the head of the Ghana Police Force, the number of religious leaders of Islam, Hinduism, Christianity, and a number of other leaders. This is a very broad-based, led by a very broad-based body of people that are involved with it. And as it gets on, it will take on greater structures and frameworks and so on. However, at this point, they are doing important work in raising the image of our men, which I'm sure you agree with, Mr. Duncan, and that in terms of men playing a more important role in building society. Any of us as women having meetings in communities, the majority of people who turn out are women. Women are engaged. Women want to come and find out what's going on. Our men have been somehow lagging back. This brings men, 1,000 for every region, on board to make a powerful move of men deciding and playing a greater role in the issues that confront them as men themselves, as well as society. So the money is to deal with some of these issues. You know, I mean, the criteria for the elderly and the indigent, I don't know what criteria you want. That someone is having a latrine, so they're available. Someone living in a tarpaulin is available. Come off of it. These are very, very poor people who are living under terrible conditions. We must have a humanitarian view instead of trying to clock everything by criteria. If you find a woman living in terrible conditions, abandoned, don't we want to lift her up? Don't we want to lift an old man up? Or are we losing our humanity? So I believe that the men on mission with $500,000 can bring in a number of programs that can make people's lives better, and including their own. We want our men to be able to deal with their health issues. We want our men to be able to deal with improving their education. We want our men to not pummel women, to not be beating women as we have in our society. And this is part of the objective of men on mission, So I understand where Mr. Mayapal is coming, but let us give this movement that is not old, it's recently started, let it give it its chance to take a form and organization. What will happen automatically with $500 million is that the fiduciary oversight will be done and will be scrutinized by the Auditor General's office as per norm.
Thank you,
Mr.
Minister.
Chairman,
Honorable Member, Mr. Mayapal.
thank you, sir. And I must say that the whole lecture on good practice and humanitarian and so on is good. I support humanitarian practice also, and I support the fact that those who need help ought to be helped. But my concern, sir, is that we're asking the people of Guyana to put into a program 500 million Guyana dollars, and there seems to be no financial management in keeping with the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act for this money. So I ask the Honorable Minister again, who sits on the Public Accounts Committee with myself, who spends time to scrutinize the expenditure of government in keeping with the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act, the Procurement Act, the Stores Regulations, and all the other laws that governs the finances of this country. What is the established structure that is in place for the disbursement of this fund, and what is being used to assess who will get the help? Is it just that these reputable men in the name of the GDF head, the Guyana Police Force head, the spiritual leaders and so on, is it that they just choose a community to go into and see somebody who's vulnerable and make an assessment and decide to build? Or is it that they're going to give the opportunity of doing a proper assessment of areas in different regions? Will this, another question to follow up on that, sir, this $500 million, is there a cap where they will say 100 million for region 1, 100 million for region 2, or is it just isolated to one region? All those are concerns, sir, because all across this country, there are poor people who need assistance. So what system do we have to cater for the poor and vulnerable, as opposed to this ad hoc manner?
Yeah, that's why I told them the thing hairy-fairy. The thing is hairy-fairy. There's no structure. I saw Mia Miller and some other folks talking about that. There is no structure to it. Yolanda Thomas, Donna McDonald, Sheila Boychel. Sheila Boychel said, she answered the question. All around, what's the structure? Oh, big people need help. How do you ascertain who needs help the most? How do you prioritize? $500 million, right? And nobody knows, what is the modus operandi of this organization, Middle Mission. That's your money and my own. You churn money and they churn money. $500 million. $500 million. And you want to come out and say, we are encouraging men not to beat women. When y'all encourage that? I see y'all encourage O.C. Rogers with that. Or any of the other women beaters y'all got in the PPP. Right? But all of that is to make you feel like you shouldn't be asking the question because they mean well. In this organization, we have a lot of influential people from the GDF and the Army. I still don't trust y'all. Right? I still don't trust y'all with $500 million. $500 million, I ain't trust you with much. $500 million. That's the foolishness we got to deal with, folks, in the National Assembly. But that's going to do it for us at this end. The hour went by so fast. Good folks, that's going to do it for us at this end. Remember, guys, tomorrow morning, we don't have a program on. Tomorrow morning, and there is no program, folks, because I got to be in court very early tomorrow morning with the mayor. But we're going to be back tomorrow night, like we're going to be back tonight with the program. But no program tomorrow morning. This is going to be our final broadcast for the week. Tomorrow's what? Tomorrow's Thursday. Is it? Let me just gather my bearings. Folks, we might have a Friday morning, we wouldn't have a program. Friday is the 3rd, yeah. Friday is the court day. Friday, we wouldn't have a program. But tomorrow, why am I feeling tomorrow is Thursday? We are going to have a program tomorrow morning, but we're not going to have a program on Friday morning. Yep. Happy to folks. Give me a little wink there. A little wink. So Friday morning, the 3rd, we're not going to have any program. That's the court morning. Friday the 3rd. But tomorrow morning, we're going to have a program. See you guys back this evening. No podcast today. We're going to make way for you guys to see some of what's happening in the National Assembly. Some of the questioning there in the National Assembly. We're going to be back this evening for our program in the ring. Thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, we can't do these programs without you guys. We can't. We just can't. So remember to partner with us. We're into February, which means even more expenses. Meeting some from January, meeting some from December. Guys, come on board. However you can. And partner with us. We're available via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, and Western Union as well. Good folks. Come on board. We implore you. We encourage you. Thanks for your love, your support, and your generosity. Good folks. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Bigly, good folks. Thanks for that. That's going to do it for us. Stay safe on that side, guys. Stay safe. Thanks for joining us, Juliet Baker, Brenda Braffett, and Michaela Andrew Coates, Gwyneth Anderson. Thanks for joining us, Donna David, and all the other folks, Jim Moore, Marcus, Michaela Andrews. Thanks for joining us. Have a great, fantastic morning, guys. Before you go, if you can, share the live, smash that emoji button for us. Let's go forward. Have a safe morning, guys. Be vigilant. Have a fantastic day overall. Take care. That's going to do it for us. Stay safe.